volleyball fans, and welcome to the David Braley Athletic Center. Welcome to the David Braley Athletic and Recreation Center for tonight's game between the Mohawk Mountaineers and the Redeemer Royals. Mohawk currently sitting in 8th place in the West, while Redeemer is currently 3rd in the West.
In recent games, Mohawk lost to Conestoga 3-2, while Redeemer beat St. Clair 3-0.
So we have an important game here tonight. We have an important game here tonight between two Hamilton rivals. I am John Tonin.
And I'm Carly Prince, and we'll be commentating on your game for tonight.
The national anthem's coming up, so we'll be right back with you. What'd you say? I always forget to.
Please stand for a hand.
With you here as the teams shake hands in preparation for tonight's Thursday night game. Mohawk sitting 8th in the West, desperate need of a win after a heartbreaking loss to Conestoga in 5 sets.
Oh, for sure. Very hard loss last game, John. Ridiculously hard to watch.
It was, so Mohawk looking to redeem themselves against Redeemer, sitting 3rd in the West, as we've mentioned before. Here come the starting lineups.
Looks like it's going to be a tough game tonight. Watching Redeemer get prepared. I don't know if Mohawk's prepared for that.
They're going to have to bring it tonight as they look to move up in the Western Conference. The ref calls the teams to the court. They just got to do some last-minute huddling there. Go over their game plan. Ref calls him again. Redeemer's on the court. Here comes Mohawk. Ref checking the lineups. Redeemer's lineup's good. Here comes their libero. Got to check Mohawk. And we're good. And here comes the Mohawk libero, Chantel Baker. For anyone listening out there, the libero is the player in the opposite color jersey, the team's defensive specialist. Redeemer will be serving first. Kimberly Stewart. Ball's taken by Chuck Matty into the middle. Redeemer able to pass it up. Set in middle of their own, dug by the setter. The ball's put over by Julie Gagnon. Free ball for Redeemer. Another set to the middle. Dug up nicely by the libero. Gets the ball back though. She cannot get it over. That's a point for Redeemer. Well, that first rally there, Carly. Both teams looking to run that middle play. Kimberly Stewart serving. Ball's taken by Chuck Matty. Chuck Matty off the hands of the Redeemer block. Offside set. That's blocked though. To the power. Mohawk gets that ball up though. Free ball coming for Redeemer. Joust at the net. Number 7, Curtis Stratsma. Able to win that joust over Chi-Chi Chucks Matty. Point Redeemer.
Interestingly enough, Curtis Stratsma actually leads Redeemer College team in points. So it looks like she's going to have a good game tonight.
Yeah, let's watch Redeemer keep going to her.
Nice take.
Chi-Chi Chucks Matty tips it over. Number 4, the libero. Oh, never mind, that was number 9. Jocelyn Plummaker unable to dig that ball up. Chi-Chi Chucks Matty serving for Mohawk.
Find the hitter, please. Find the hitter.
Big serve, dug up by Redeemer though. That ball is swung on by number 7, Curtis Stratsma. Off the hands of the Mohawk block point for Redeemer.
Looks like we got a pretty loud gym in here tonight, John. I can barely hear you.
Yeah, we do. Yakira Smeltzer up to serve.
Good. Good job, Chi-Chi.
Big block by the Redeemer side.
Open it up, please. Open it up.
That free ball is blocked by Redeemer. Another free ball. Dug up. Number 9, Jocelyn Plummaker. Mistimes that ball, and that drops on the Redeemer court. Number 10, Kaylee Duncan serving for Mohawk. Floats it over. Right to one, good serve. Mohawk got a free ball. Out of bounds off the hand of Jessica Burdett. Number 12, Charlene DeVries. DeVries stepping up for Redeemer. Off the fingertips of Gagnon. Redeemer's gonna get a free ball here. Set to the middle. Number 2, Caitlin Arscott, able to tool it off of Chi-Chi Chucks Matty. That's a point for Redeemer. Charlene DeVries up to serve.
All right, here we go. Here we go. One pass.
It's a party ball. Huge swing. Number 7, Curtis Stratsma puts the ball down in the Mohawk court off the overpass by Chi-Chi Chucks Matty. And Mohawk forced to call a timeout early in this first set.
Looks like she got an excellent swing on that ball.
Yeah, in volleyball, when the opposing team passes that ball and it's dropping on top of the tape, it's called a party ball. Every volleyball player's dream. So they get to swing on it. There's usually not a block there. So they get to swing with full power and have some fun. The Redeemer Royal up 4. It is 6-2 early in this first set. Redeemer's really been able to establish their offense right now, working that ball around nicely.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Looks like they got a good footing coming into this set.
That they do. Mohawk just needs to tighten up their passes. The offense will come. Here the team's taking the court again. Number 12, Charlene DeVries will be serving for Redeemer. Let's see if that Mohawk timeout killed some of her momentum. Almost, but she hits the top of the tape and that ball rolls over.
Looks like they can't quite stop her in her tracks.
Nope, they cannot. Charlene DeVries serving again. Off the fingertips of Chantal Baker. Rolled over by Chi-Chi Chucks-Matty. Joust at the net. Number 7, Curtis Stratsma, clearly into the net. Point for Mohawk. Christine Van Hardingsveld is up to serve. Pass outside. Number 9, Jocelyn Klumpmaker. Able to get a point off the hands of the Mohawk defender. Point for Redeemer. Curtis Stratsma.
Looks like Mohawk is going to have a really hard time handling these powerful, powerful swings coming off the Redeemer girls tonight.
That they are. Mohawk's just going to need to get their body in front of it and don't reach. Dug up by Van Hardingsveld. Free ball for Redeemer coming. Into the middle. Out of bounds off the hand of Caitlin Arscott. Point for Mohawk as Julie Gagnon steps up to serve. Jump float there by Gagnon. That ball finds the court. Number 9, Jocelyn Klumpmaker.
Looked like just a slight miscommunication error there by Mohawk. We weren't sure who was going to go for it. They looked like they thought it was out.
Yep. Got to communicate though, and the bench has got to talk to them, tell them what's going on. Jocelyn Klumpmaker with the serve. And libero Chantel Baker unable to handle that serve from Klumpmaker. Jocelyn Klumpmaker serving. Good fix by number 8, Corrine McGrath. Able to find her middle. Jessica Burdett tips it over. Redeemer can't handle it. Point for Mohawk. Jessica Burdett serving. Ball outside to Chi-Chi Chucks-Matty, but she's blocked. Mohawk digs it up though. Tip tack over. Some miscommunication by Redeemer. Not sure who's gonna get it. Ball hits the floor, point for Mohawk. Jessica Burdett serving. A short ball. I think there was a net call there on Mohawk, because that's a point for Redeemer. Number 2, Caitlin Arscott. Nice cut there by number 10, Kaylee Duncan. Ball's up. Chucks-Matty with the roll shot over, dug up by Redeemer. See ball out of bounds. That was number 7, Curtis Stratsma. Corrine McGrath, the setter for Mohawk, is up to serve. Huge run out of the middle. Charlene DeVries.
Again with the miscommunication error on Mohawk's side. Looked like they were looking at each other, not sure who was going to go for that ball.
Yeah, middle balls are hard to dig up though. Mohawk was pretty lucky, they got 2 blocks there. DeVries though unable to get it through. Number 8, Kimberly Stewart serving. And Charlene DeVries gets another party ball. And she's having a bit of fun, and she's able to put that down to the floor. Kimberly Stewart up to serve. libero, Chantel Baker, unable to handle it. No Mohawk player able to retrieve that ball. Point Redeemer. Kimberly Stewart up to serve. Again, the libero for Mohawk, Chantel Baker, unable to handle that serve. And here comes another timeout for Mohawk.
Looks like Mohawk was a little unprepared for this game tonight, John. They seem to have not be able to find their footing in this game at all.
Not yet, at least. Mohawk's gonna need to shake off that rust in a real hurry as the Redeemer Royals lead 15-7 here in this first set. Mohawk, too, having a real hard time passing that ball up off the serve. And the Royals making very few mistakes here and able to convert on the Mohawk mistakes. So Mohawk on this timeout probably just looking to ice the server, Kimberly Stewart. She's reeled off a few points on the Mountaineers right now.
Looks like they're coming out in renewed spirits, John.
Yeah, still smiles. Volleyball's a game of runs, Carly. Can't hang your head because anything can happen. Kimberly Stewart serving for Redeemer. Mohawk again unable to handle it. 4 touches, point for Redeemer. That's just bad miscommunication on the Mohawk part. They got to call out their seams left or right, knowing which way the ball goes. That's where they're going. Ball taken by Gagnon. Mohawk finally able to get it up. And Chi-Chi chugs Maddie, able to crush that ball down onto the Redeemer side.
She really is one of the powerhouses of the team, John.
Absolutely. That's why we see Mohawk rely on her so much. Chucks Maddie is serving. Big serve. Free ball for Mohawk coming. Off the fingertips of the Redeemer block. That was 15, Christine Van Hardingsveld. Able to score for Mohawk. Chi-Chi chucks Maddie up to serve. Overpass by Redeemer. Mohawk unable to handle it though. Still get it over. That ball is out of bounds by Curtis Stratsma.
Redeemer Royals now leading the game 16-10. Mohawk's gonna have a hard time taking themselves out of this one.
Yep, Chi-Chi chucks Maddie is serving. Number 14, Yakira Smeltzer, off the hands of the libero. Able to tool her. Point for Redeemer. Yakira Smeltzer is up to serve. Ball dog up, into the middle, tipped over by number 10, Kaylee Duncan.
Looks like she just had a small miscalculation there. Couldn't quite get to it, almost.
Yeah, it was a good touch though. Tips are hard to pass up sometimes. It's Kaylee Duncan serving for Mohawk. Redeemer unable to handle that. Look for Redeemer to call a timeout pretty soon, as Mohawk is able to claw their way back into this game a little bit. Only down by 5 now. Kaylee Duncan is serving. Redeemer gets a good pass. Dug up by the setter though, Corrine McGrath. And Julie Gagnon paints the line. Point for Mohawk. Kaylee Duncan is serving. Redeemer again unable to handle that ball. Mohawk gets a free ball. Set outside. And Julie Gagnon unable to connect this time. That ball's out of bounds. Number 12, Charlene DeVries is serving for Redeemer.
She's been having a good game in terms of serve so far, John. She seems to have a really powerful swing that Mohawk just can't seem to be able to handle too well.
That's so true, but she's unable to handle that ball. That's why she gets liberoed out in the back row. It's a tough ball for a middle to dig up. Christine Van Hardingsveld is up to serve for Mohawk. That's number 7, Curtis Stratsma, hitting the ball into the net, giving a point to Mohawk. As Christine Van Hardingsveld still serving. Free ball for Mohawk. Number 9, Jocelyn Klompmaker, can't get that ball over.
There's that timeout you predicted, John, for
Yeah.
Redeemer.
Thought it'd come a bit earlier though, as Mohawk been able to claw their way back into this game, only down 2, as Redeemer leads 18-16. Mohawk's passing has gotten better since their last time out. Finally been able to run an offense.
Oh, definitely. Looks like they just needed to shake off a little rust and get their pregame jitters out of their system before they really kind of sunk into their groove there and got going.
You are most definitely correct, and Redeemer's early success seems to have gone a bit out the window. They're having troubles passing that ball up. But look for them, a good team, to make the proper adjustments and come out of this timeout strong. Redeemer again leads 18-16 here in the first set. It'll be Christine Van Hardingsveld serving for Mohawk. See if that timeout has iced her. Doesn't look like it. Big dig by Van Hardingsveld. Ball pushed outside. Julie Gagnon, though, gets roofed by Curtis Stratsma. She closes the door. Point for Redeemer as Stratsma goes up to serve. Double touch on Gagnon. Point for the Royals. Curtis Stratsma still serving. Gagnon with the pass into the middle. Redeemer able to dig it up though. That ball's tipped over by Jocelyn Klompmaker. Mohawk gets a hand on it, but unable to convert. Point for Redeemer. We've got a substitution happening. Kristen Walichowski is in and Julie Gagnon is out. Curtis Stratsma is serving. Passed up by the libero. That ball's blocked. They're on the Redeemer side. Point for Mohawk. As I believe the Redeemer player attacked from the back row. We got another substitution coming. Julie Gagnon is back in as Christine Walichowski is out. Gagnon up to serve for Mohawk. Redeemer was scrambling, but able to get the ball over. Set to the middle. Back row attack coming. Free ball for Mohawk. Good rally going on right now. C-ball, hit short, out to Chucks Maddie. She tips it. And the Redeemer player unable to get there in time, and that ball hits the floor.
Absolutely nobody home that one.
Nope. Everybody expecting Chucks Maddie to swing. They were not prepared for that tip. Smart play. Julie Gagnon up to serve. Ball's up in the air. Free ball for Mohawk. Set outside to Chuck's Maddie. She tries to tip it again, but this time it's out of bounds. Point for Redeemer. Number 9, Jocelyn Klumpmaker, steps up to serve. Ball taken by the libero. Set to the middle. High outside ball, off the Mohawk block and dug up. A ball to Julie Gagnon, tipped over by Redeemer. Corrine McGrath, set her dump. Point for Mohawk. Redeemer not expecting that ball to come over on the second hit. Number 18, Jessica Burdett, is up to serve. Oh, sorry. We have it.
Looks like an attempted substitution, but just refs not having it. Jessica Burdett is still up to serve.
Yep. Guess she didn't get there in time. The ref had blown her whistle, signaling her to serve. Set to the middle. Number 2, Caitlin Arscott, able to score. Point for Redeemer. Caitlin Arscott is up to serve. Ball taken by Gagnon. High outside. Kaylee Duncan able to score for Mohawk, bringing them within 3. Redeemer leads 23-20 here in the first set, as Corrine McGrath looks to cut into that lead as she steps up to serve. Mohawk gets that ball up. And Redeemer can't get that ball back over. Point for Mohawk.
Again, there seems to be a lot of miscommunication here between both of the teams. Really, no one's sure who's going for which ball.
Yep, and that results in a Redeemer timeout. The Redeemer coach, Doug Veldman, looking to regroup his troops, settle them down a little bit. Their passing is dropped off, which means their attack hasn't been as strong as the first half of this set.
Looks like they got a little comfortable in that really early lead there, and they just weren't expecting Mohawk to come back and bring the game.
Nope. Can never get complacent in volleyball. It's such a game of runs. It's whoever has the hot hand. The server steps up. They're nailing their serves. It's tough to get out of that. And once you're in a passing funk, it's hard to come out of that as well. So you got to play strong all the way through. Play the game straight out to 25. Here come the Mountaineers stepping back onto the court. And here are the Royals. Corrine McGrath will be serving out of this timeout. Let's see if that timeout killed some of her momentum. Here's the serve. DeVry is able to get it over. Mohawk can't handle it. Point for Redeemer.
Just had a really hard time with that ball.
Yep, and that ball was off the tip, fingertips. Ball should have gotten dug up. Kimberly Stewart serving for the set. Mohawk with a bad pass off that serve, but they get lucky as that ball finds the Redeemer court. Point Mohawk as Chi-Chi Chucks Maddie is up to serve.
Got a lot of pressure in this position, John.
That she does, serving to keep her team in the game. High outside ball. And number 7, Curtis Stratsma finds a hole in the Mohawk block and finds the floor. Redeemer Royals taking the first set, 25-22.
Looks like both teams have quite the competition going on here. Looks like they're pretty evenly matched tonight, both really wanting this win.
Absolutely, Carly. Both teams here coming from Hamilton, Ontario. So there's that city rivalry that's got to be going on. You want to beat the other college in the city.
Oh, absolutely. It's got to be a tough time playing two colleges in one city. That's a lot of pressure on both teams to try to be the best.
Absolutely. So Mohawk lost the first set, 25-22. They look to get back here in the second set as they look to move up in the Western standings as they are in the 8th spot. Redeemer in 3rd. Mohawk showed a lot of heart in the second half of that first set, climbed their way back to only a 3-point loss. The Royals, though, gutted it out, showed us why, that they are in 3rd place in the Western Conference.
Definitely looks like they're going to have a very hard battle tonight, but it could pay off. They keep playing the way they are.
Absolutely. Mohawk's just going to need to tighten up on their serve receive. That is how you get your points. That's how you generate your offense. It all starts with good passing. Without a good pass, you're going to have to rely too heavily on your outside hitters. With a good pass, though, you'll able to get that ball to your middle, which will really open up things for your outside hitters because the block will have to respect the middle, creating one-on-ones on the outside. Mohawk started off this set running some middles. Same with Redeemer. We kind of saw both teams get away from that, so maybe they'll get back to that in the second set, sorry.
Absolutely, it's such a crucial part of the game. We'll hope to see a lot more of it going on in the second set here.
Absolutely. Teams have taken the court again, getting ready for this second set. Redeemer looking confident. Mohawk going over the game plan. Here comes the ref, he's got his lineup card. Each team talking over their strategy, as always. Here comes Redeemer onto the court, stepping up into their positions, and here is Mohawk. Ref gives the okay for Redeemer. Here comes the libero. Mohawk is good as well. Here comes their libero. Mohawk to start serving in this second set as Corrine McGrath, the setter, steps up to serve for Mohawk. Ball's outside. Number 7, Curtis Stratsma, hits it out of bounds, point for Mohawk. Corrine McGrath still serving. DeVries able to get that ball over. Roll shot deep to 6. And number 14, Yakira Smeltzer, finds the line. That's off the hand of Julie Gagnon. Point for Redeemer. Yakira Smeltzer stepping up to serve. Nice pass by Chantel Baker. Back set to Julie Gagnon, which she cannot convert. Hitting that ball into the net. Point for Redeemer. Yakira Smeltzer still serving. Tip by Chucks Maddie.
Again, she's going back to that tip instead of the really hard swing that we're used to coming from her. Seems like she's trying to change up her game a little bit.
Yep. Well, Mohawk relies on her quite a bit, so maybe Redeemer read that game plan, loading up on her. She's still finding ways to score as she steps up to serve. Number 12, Charlene DeVries, finds the back corner, and that is a point for Redeemer. DeVries up to serve. Julie Gagnon can't handle that. Off her hands and out of bounds. Point for Redeemer. Charlene DeVries still serving. Goes back to Gagnon. Outside ball. Van Hardingsveld able to tool the Redeemer block. Point for Mohawk. Here comes Kaylee Duncan up to serve. Redeemer unable to handle that ball as it comes flying straight at us.
These last few games, this ball just seems to be really attracted towards us. We're not playing the game, we're just commentating, guys.
It's a dangerous job, Carly. Kaylee Duncan serving. Redeemer unable to get that ball up. That ball hits the floor, strong serve. Point for Mohawk. Kaylee Duncan still serving for Mohawk. Mohawk able to dig that offside attack. Tipped over. Free ball for Mohawk. Chucks Maddie from the back row. Able to find the hands of the Redeemer block, but they get it back over. Into the middle. And that ball was out of bounds, but it was touched by a Redeemer player. Point for Mohawk. Kaylee Duncan still up to serve. Curtis Stratzma unable to handle that serve again. Mohawk up 3 early in the second set, 7-4. Kaylee Duncan still serving. Rolled over, dug up by Mohawk though. And that ball finds the back corner. Mohawk coming out real strong here in the second set. Kaylee Duncan's serve has a lot to do with this early lead as she is still serving. Spoke too soon though as that ball's into the net. Still a good run though. Curtis Stratzma up to serve. Big jump float. Here's Chucks Maddie from the back row. Able to find the court. Actually, sorry, able to tool it off the Redeemer player. Still, that's a point for Mohawk. As Christine Van Hardingsveld steps up to serve. Again, Redeemer puts that ball over on the second touch. Ball gets another free ball. That ball's pushed deep to 5. There's Gagnon. Number 7, Curtis Stratzma, off her fingertips, finds the net. Point for Mohawk, and here's a timeout.
She does not look pleased with herself as she walks off towards the huddle.
No, she does not. Mohawk Mountaineers leading 10-5 over the Redeemer Royals here in the second set. Mohawk came out looking like they were on a mission. Not looking to lose again as they've come out real strong here. And early in the second set, they are really taking it to Redeemer.
Both teams really looking to fight a hard battle tonight.
Couldn't agree more. Both want to win, climb those standings. Redeemer's going to need to tighten up their serve receive. They've shanked a lot of balls. And
Here we go, looks like Mohawk's back taking court. Redeemer's still deep in strategic conversation.
Yeah, using every second of that timeout. Trying to cool down Mohawk here. Redeemer's gonna need to find their game. Christine Van Hardingsveld up to serve. Big set to the middle. number 6, Jessica Eldon. Finds a hole in the Mohawk block. Finding the floor, point for Redeemer as number 9, Jocelyn Klumpmaker steps up to serve. Good pass by the libero. Outside ball tipped over by Gagnon. C-ball set, big swing. Number 7, Curtis Strasma.
Looking a little unsure there as she let the ball go out of bounds.
Yeah, well in volleyball you're supposed to follow the ball out, making sure it is out of bounds. But I think on that play she was just looking to toy with Mohawk a little bit. We have a timeout by Mohawk now as Redeemer has won the last 2 points, getting themselves within 3. Mohawk just needs to keep that passing going. Those last 2 points didn't go their way. They just got to tighten up, fix the mistakes, keep communicating out there, and they should be okay. Redeemer looking to build on this bit of momentum they just gained as they look to get back into this set.
As you said, John, this game, volleyball really is a game of momentum, and if Redeemer hopes to get themselves back in this and take a strong lead, they really have to keep on going with the way they've been playing.
Absolutely, Carly. It's probably why Andy Nicholson called that timeout, recognizing that a run was in the works. Called the timeout early, looking to end it. Jocelyn Klumpmaker up to serve. Chantel Baker can't handle that. Can't handle that serve. Point for Redeemer. Let's see if Klumpmaker, who's up to serve again, goes right back at Baker. She's probably trying to, but that ball's into the net. Free point for Mohawk. And here's Julie Gagnon up to serve. There's a free ball coming for Mohawk. And that's a point for Redeemer off the hands of the Mohawk block. That was Yakira Smeltzer with the swing, and we have Jessica Eldon up to serve. Nice serve. Good pass by Baker, though. Blocked by Redeemer. Mohawk able to dig it up, though. There's a free ball. Mohawk likely getting a free ball here. Pushed outside to Chucks Maddie. She hits the top of the tape, but that ball still hits the floor.
There's that powerful swing I've been expecting all night.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised I haven't seen it too much tonight, as she's been sending a lot of tips over the net instead of that really, really powerful arm we've been seeing lately.
It was nice to see a nice, powerful swing. Charlotte Hutema's up to serve. Got an overpass. There's going to be a joust at the net, which Mohawk wins. Charlotte Hutema still serving for the Mountaineers, who are up by 4. It's a powerful serve. And that's a powerful swing by number 7, Curtis Stratsma, painting the back line. Point for Redeemer. And here's Kimberly Stewart. Big serve, Chucks Maddie puts that right back over the net. Kimberly Stewart looking to find her middle, but she's unable to get it there. And her middle, Charlene DeVries, unable to fix that set. Point for Mohawk as Corrine McGrath is up to serve. Ball pushed outside. And there's Stratsma finding the court. Point for Redeemer as Yakira Smeltzer steps up to serve. Julie Gagnon powering that ball over the net, hits the hand of the Redeemer player. Out of bounds, point for Mohawk. And here comes Chi-Chi Chugs-Matty. Unorthodox play there, but it works. Mohawk's able to score a point. And they're up by 5, 16-11 here in the second set. Chi-Chi Chugs-Matty still up to serve. Big swing, but bigger dig by Mohawk. Attack from the back row by Akira Smeltzer. Hits the top of the tape and hits the Redeemer side of the court. Point for Mohawk. And here's a timeout by Redeemer.
Looks like they're really trying to slow down this run Mohawk's been going on. Mohawk now up 17-11. Redeemer not looking to impress with this lead at all.
Definitely not. Mohawk came out in this set like a team on a mission, not looking to lose again. And they've been playing really well. Good scrappy volleyball when they need to. Their passing off the serve has been very strong, and they've been able to run every option in their offense, and it shows in this 6-point lead. Don't count Redeemer out though. They're gonna really need to start getting their block up there more. Redeemer's a big team. The smallest girl on the team being 5'5". They've got a couple of 6-footers. They're gonna need to establish a net presence there.
Still all smiles as they come back onto the court though.
Yep, confident team. Here's Chi-Chi Chugs-Matty. The libero, Tara Van Halteren. Oh, sorry. No, Tara Van Halteren can't handle that ball. Point for Mohawk. Chi-Chi Chugs-Matty is still serving. Bertice Stratsma tries a tip of her own, and it works. So that's a point for Redeemer. As number 12, Charlene DeVries, steps up to serve. Bit of a miscommunication there. Caught it just in time, though. You don't want to be caught out of rotation. That's a point to the other team. Chantel Baker, the libero, can't handle that serve. Point for Redeemer. Let's see if they continue picking on her. She's had an inconsistent game so far. They go right back to her. Good pass this time, though. Number 10, Kaylee Duncan with the quick ball. Finds the back corner, point for Mohawk. Got a substitution here. 18, Jessica Burdett is back in for Charlotte Hutema. Kaylee Duncan up to serve for Mohawk. Free ball for Mohawk coming up. Van Hardingsveld, though, hits that ball out of bounds. Point for Redeemer. They're stuck 5. See if they can get a run going here. As Bertice Stratsma steps up to serve. Big serve that Gagnon can't handle. Point for Redeemer.
Redeemer's really trying to claw their way back into this game, trying to diffuse that lead Mohawk's got. Mohawk still leading 19-15 in the second set.
And that's Mohawk calling the timeout. Looking to end this mini run here by the Redeemer Royals. Trying to kill all momentum before it even happens. Those last 2 points, Mohawk was unable to handle the tough serve of Stratsma. Stratsma is one of the taller players on Redeemer, who's 6'1". So she'll be hitting that ball well above the net. So that's a tough ball to dig up because it's going to be floating and it's going to be coming real hard at you.
Again, with her being one of the top leaders with the team in points, it's going to be a tough time trying to slow her down tonight.
Absolutely. We've seen Redeemer rely on her a lot. You'll see Mohawk start camping a block on her a little bit. Here's Fertis Stratsma, up to serve. Jessica Burdett hits that ball out of bounds. Point for Redeemer. Fertis Stratsma still serving. Mohawk tries to get a substitution in there. And Mohawk just got red carded, I believe. The ref was holding up that red card. It's Fertis Stratsma, her serving for Redeemer.
Head coach looking a little bit confused there, not sure what happened.
No, we're not sure either. Another big serve. Overpass by the libero. Number 6, Jessica Eldon, have some fun on that party ball. Point for Redeemer. Fertis Stratsma still serving. Ball to Chucks Maddie. Van Hardingsveld tools the Redeemer block. Point for Mohawk. And here's Van Hardingsveld up to serve. Held on with a soft roll over the net. Corrine McGrath, setter tip. That finds the floor.
Looks like Redeemer all looking at each other, kind of wondering who was going to go for that ball.
Yeah, Corrine McGrath able to trick them a little bit. This is Van Hardingsveld serving. Stratsma able to fix it off the hands of Mohawk, out of bounds. Point for Redeemer. And here comes Jocelyn Klumpmaker up to serve. Another strong serve. Julie Gagnon off the hands of Stratsma, able to score for Mohawk, who leads 22-18 here in the second set. And here's Gagnon up to serve. Too much muscle on that serve. Out of bounds, point for Redeemer. We have a substitution coming. Number 2, Caitlin Arscott is in. Number 6, Jessica Eldon is out. Looks like Arscott is in for the serve. She tries to get her team back in this. They're down by 3. Here's the ball to Chucks Maddie. Chucks Maddie's attack able to be dug up, but it's a party ball. And Jessica Burdett able to have some fun hitting that ball down to the floor. Jessica Burdett up to serve. Stratsma hits the net. Point for Mohawk. And here's Jessica Burdett serving for the set.
Stratsma's really looking quite a bit aggravated with herself over there on that other side of the court.
Yeah, she certainly is. Stratsma puts it over.
Looks like Mohawk wasn't expecting that at all.
No, feet stuck to the floor. That can't happen. Got to be on your toes always. Point for Redeemer as number 8, Kimberly Stewart, steps up to serve. Ball's outside, but it's out of bounds off the hands of Kaylee Duncan. Point for Redeemer. Kimberly Stewart up to serve. They're going to keep her team in it. And that's a big serve that Chantel Baker cannot handle. Point for Redeemer.
And quite a bit of miscommunication going on the court tonight. Mohawk just looking a little confused as to who was supposed to go for that ball.
Absolutely. We have a substitution here. That's number 11, Christine Balachowski in, and Julie Gagnon is out. Kimberly Stewart serving for Redeemer. Well, gets that ball out there. There's Chuck's Maddie. And she finds the line. Point for Mohawk. That ends the game. That ends the set, sorry. Mohawk taking the second set, 25-22.
Interesting how the scores are reversed this set, John.
Absolutely there, Carly.
It's like both teams are up for a hard-fought battle tonight. No matter who takes the game, both teams are really trying to go for it tonight.
Absolutely. That's what athletes do, though, right? They compete. Can't roll over after losing the second set. Got to cheer off for donuts right now in the stands.
So I'm trying to get the crowd all pumped up here.
Absolutely, we got a pretty good crowd here.
Personally, I know I'd be cheering for a bunch of donuts. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. Maybe we should start cheering for him as well. Looks like they found a winner. Mohawk, this second set, needs to continue on their path that they found in the second set, finding their game, playing real strong, able to take it to Redeemer as they beat them 25-22.
Redeemer looking like they're getting their dance on a little bit, still trying to keep pumped up. Looks like they are not losing confidence at all and are getting ready to go into this third set with a lot of power.
You got to stay confident. Once you lose your confidence, volleyball is one of those games where once you're no longer playing happy and you're playing upset, you are typically not going to win. This is not a game you want to play angry. So when you're angry, you're uptight, you're going to get mad at yourself, you'll get mad at your teammates. And it's such a team-oriented game. That can't happen. You got to stay loose, stay fresh, stay happy. Should be successful. Mohawk, first team on the court. Wonder if they plan that. Showing Redeemer that they are ready to go, ready to keep this battle going.
And the team all smiles as they talk that last-minute strategy.
Absolutely. Redeemer still huddled around their coach, trying to shake off that rust that appeared on that second set. I'm sure they can play better. Look to see it here in the third set as they're going to ramp up their game. Redeemer's going to need to tighten up their passing, though, if they want to keep, they want to win. Teams are on the court. Refs checking to make sure everything's okay. It'll be Redeemer ball to get us started here in the third set. And that will be number 8, Kimberly Stewart, stepping up to serve. High outside ball. That ball is blocked by Redeemer. Mohawk able to recover it. That's a point for Redeemer. Mohawk did the right thing there, though. They came in and they covered that block. They were just unable to handle it. Kimberly Stewart still serving. Too strong, out of bounds, point Mohawk. And here comes Chuck's Maddie up to serve. High outside ball. Dug up by Mohawk. Ball outside to Gagnon. But she hits it into the net. Must be a little bit intimidating seeing those two Two giant players there for Redeemer, standing there ready to block you. 14, Akira Smeltzer serving.
Personally, no, I'd be very nervous, John, if they were coming up to me.
Yeah, and their block is shutting the door right now. That was Van Hardingsveld unable to get it over. Akira Smeltzer with the serve. Joust at the net. Won by Redeemer, that ball's out of bounds. And here's a timeout really early in the third set as Redeemer has jumped out to a 4-1 lead. Andy Nicholson, the coach of Mohawk, must not be liking what he's seeing. He's giving some personal tutelage there to Chantel Baker, showing her how to have her hands. She's gonna have to step in front of that ball more. When you're reaching for a ball, it becomes really hard to pass it. Redeemer's tightened up their game though here in the third set. And they're looking strong. They've established their block a bit more, blocking 2 Mohawk attacks. So let's see if there's gonna be some more tips in the future here. The team's taking the court again. And Akira Smeltzer back serving for Redeemer. Ball taken by the libero. McGrath able to get it over though. That's a big up by the libero. That ball gets over the net, and Redeemer cannot handle it. Point for Mohawk. This is number 10, Kaylee Duncan up to serve for Mohawk. Big serve. Redeemer though able to scramble and get it over. And again, Redeemer gets a hand on it, but they can't get that ball up into a playable position. Point for Mohawk. Here's Kaylee Duncan up to serve. Van Hardingsveld gets the block, tries to put it back over, but she gets it out of bounds. Point for Redeemer, number 12. Charlene DeVries up to serve.
She's been having a solid game tonight, John. It'll be interesting to see how Mohawk handles her.
That she has. It's another big serve by her too. High outside ball. And Stratsma able to find the court. Big swing. Here's DeVries up again. Chucks Maddie from the back row. Redeemer can't handle that back row attack by Chucks Maddie. Point for Mohawk. And here's Christine Van Hardingsveld stepping up to serve. Pushed outside. Back to Stratsma. Point for Mohawk, because we have another ball that came flying at us, Carly.
Come on, John, you can't get into the game as much as you want to, I know.
No, it's true. Christine Van Hardingsveld up to serve again for Mohawk. Klumpmaker gives Mohawk a free ball. Back row attack to Chucks Maddie. And she hammers that ball down.
There's again, with that powerful swing we've been looking for all night. She's got quite the arm.
Absolutely. It's a lot better watching her when she's swinging rather than tipping. But when the tip works, it works. Point's a point. Van Hardingsveld is serving. It's another big serve by her. Free ball for Mohawk. Pushed outside. There's Gagnon. And McGrath able to get that ball back over after Gagnon got blocked. Scramble play by Mohawk, but it works. Here comes Van Hardingsveld up to serve. Dug up by Chuck's Matty. Pushed outside to Gagnon. Deemer giving Mohawk a free ball. Outside ball. Swung on by Jessica Burdett. Your Deemer defense can't handle it. Out of bounds. And here's Van Hardingsveld still serving. On a pretty good run right now. Stratzma with the tip. Chuck's Matty can't get there in time. Point for Redeemer.
Looked like they really weren't expecting that.
No, because she's been swinging hard all game. And here's Stratzma up to serve. Chuck's Matty pushes it deep, but not deep enough. Set to the middle. Here's Gagnon with the swing. Big dig by Stratzma. C-ball attack. Stratzma thinking that ball was going out of bounds, but she was wrong. It lands in. Point for Mohawk. This is Julie Gagnon stepping up to serve. And she hits that ball into the net. Free point for Redeemer. Here's number 9, Jocelyn Klompmaker, up to serve. Pass out to Chuck's Matty. Out of bounds. She hits that antenna. Point for Redeemer. It's a good swing though. Just not able to cut it hard enough. Here's Jocelyn Klompmaker. C-ball swing by Gagnon. The libero, Tara Van Halderen, can't roll that ball over. Point for Mohawk. That's why she's a defensive specialist only. Jessica Burdett stepping up to serve. Curtis Stratzma looking like she is about to pound that ball. Take some muscle off of it though.
Definitely fooled the Mohawk team. They really weren't sure what she was going to do, and they just weren't able to get there.
Definitely, they got caught watching. That was Kaylin Arscott serving. Free ball for Redeemer. High outside ball. And number 14, Yakira Smeltzer. Off the hands of the Mohawk defense. Point for Redeemer. Here's Caitlin Arscott up to serve. Ball to Chuck's Matty. The Redeemer block able to tighten those fingers. As Chuck's Matty able to power it through. Point for Mohawk. And here we have a substitution coming. This is number 10, Mary Christianes, coming in for Yakira Smeltzer. And Corrine McGrath will be serving for Mohawk. Kaylee Duncan gets a party ball. Has a bit of fun. Scores a point for Mohawk. Corrine McGrath stepping back up to serve. There's that height advantage coming in for DeVries, able to get that ball over, even though they mistimed that quick attack.
Oh, absolutely.
This is Kimberly Stewart. Chucks Maddie with another tip.
Looks like this method's been really effective for her tonight. Instead of those huge swings, she's just kind of tipping it over lightly, and it just seems to be going really, really well.
Absolutely. Redeemer probably thinking that she's not going to tip that much because she has such a powerful swing. They haven't caught on yet. Chucks Maddie hits that ball into the net. Point for Redeemer. Here's number 10, Mary Christianes. Julie Gagnon able to tool the Redeemer block. Point for Mohawk. And here comes Kaylee Duncan up to serve. Big serve. Curtis Stratsma, though, rolls it deep to 5. Mohawk caught looking. Point for Redeemer.
Seen a lot of good stuff out of her tonight, Shannon.
Absolutely.
Pardon me, seems to have something stuck in my throat.
Carlene DeVries up to serve. Nice up by Chucks Maddie. Van Hardingsveld gets roofed. Point for Redeemer. Charlene DeVries up to serve. Too much muscle on that ball. It's out of bounds. Point for Mohawk. Here's Van Hardingsveld up to serve. Big swing by Stratsma, tooling the Mohawk block. That's out of bounds. And here comes Stratsma up to serve. She too hits that ball too strong. It's out of bounds.
Looks like she's just getting a little frustrated over there. She needs to take a few deep breaths and bring that serve back to the way it was before. She's really rocking it.
Absolutely, and here's Julie Gagnon. There's a nice quick ball set to Chucks Maddie. She doesn't get all of it on it, but she still finds the court. Julie Gagnon still serving. Nice up by Chantel Baker. Gagnon tries to roll it over from the back row, but not enough on it. That hits the net. We are tied at 17 here in the third set as number 9, Jocelyn Klumpmaker, steps up to serve. Into the middle. That set was too low for Jessica Burdett as she swings it into the net. Here's Jocelyn Klumpmaker again. Ball up by Gagnon outside the Chucks Maddie. Free ball for Mohawk. Corrine McGrath dumps that ball over. Redeemer can't handle it. Point for Mohawk.
There it is again, avoiding that really, really hard swing and just kind of tricking Redeemer into thinking that it's just going to be easy, and they just can't seem to get there.
Now Redeemer hasn't made the proper adjustments. That was Burdett serving. Free ball for Mohawk. High outside to Chucks Maddie. There's another tip. That one's dug up though. Outside to Chucks Maddie again. No tap, no tip that time. A Redeemer able to dig it up. Chugs Maddie again. And number 10, Kaylee Duncan, gets a party ball.
Able to break the rally and the tie as Mohawk pulls ahead 19-18.
And that is Redeemer calling a timeout. The Redeemer coach, Doug Veldman, not liking what he's seeing.
Such a crucial part of the game, John. Really got to keep everyone's focus in the game, get the troops all rallied up, ready to go.
Yeah, he's definitely going to want his team to pick up their energy a bit. You hear the Mohawk side talking. They're very loud, telling each other who's got it, where they are on the court, which way they think the opposing attacker is going to swing. You don't hear that, though, on the Redeemer side.
No, it's awfully quiet over on that side of the court, for sure, for sure.
And volleyball is one of those sports you got to be in constant communication with your team. Tell them what's going on.
Absolutely, with the few errors in communication we've seen tonight, it's just not acceptable. Especially at a college level, you just got to keep talking to your teammates and tell each other what's going on.
Absolutely. All right, the teams are back on the court. Jessica Burdett is up to serve for Mohawk. Set to the middle, number 2, Kaylin Arscott, able to find the court, time this game at 19. Here's Arscott up to serve again. Ball's taken by Chucks Maddie, pushed outside. DeVries using her big reach, able to get that ball over. Off the hands of the Mohawk libero, Chantel Baker. And that's a point for Redeemer.
We got another timeout here called by Mohawk this time.
This is Andy Nicholson with the timeout. I guess not liking what he's seeing as Redeemer's pulled out to a 1-point lead. We've reached the point of the third set where you cannot make any mistakes whatsoever.
Absolutely not. Both teams tied at 1 set. Essential part of the game that both teams are trying to go for this win.
Definitely, as in volleyball, whichever team makes the least mistakes usually takes the game. Redeemer's back on the court.
Mohawk heading out as well.
Absolutely. And we will have Caitlin Arscott serving for Redeemer. Looking to add to her team's lead. Gagnon overpasses that ball. Doesn't matter though, because that's DeVries in the middle. Hits it out of bounds, point for Mohawk. Here's Corrine McGrath stepping up to serve. Set to the middle again. That ball's not high enough though for DeVries. And she hits it into the net. Point for Mohawk, who takes the lead. Corrine McGrath serving.
Another timeout coming over for the Redeemer side here.
Yep, your coach not liking what they're seeing. As we just said in the last timeout, just 2 points ago, the team that makes the least mistakes will take this set. And right now, Coach Doug Veldman not liking what he was seeing. Quickly calls his timeout. Mohawk just has to keep up their play. Even though they are up 21-20 here in the third set.
It's a crucial part of the game. Nobody can afford to make any mistakes at this point.
Absolutely not, Carly. That means no missed serves and no balls touch the floor. Teams are back on the court. Corrine McGrath will be serving for Mohawk. Mohawk able to get that dump from the setter. But then Van Hardingsveld gets roofed. Point for Redeemer. This game's tied at 21s as Kimberly Stewart steps up to serve. Nice up by the libero. Chucks Maddie tools the Redeemer block. That was number 10, Mary Christiana, is looking to get the block up there, but to no avail. That's off her hands. We have a substitution coming. Here's Yakira Smeltzer coming back in for Mary Christianas. Chi Chucks Maddie stepping up for Mohawk. Good serve off the top of the tape. Ball outside for Gagnon, rolls it over. Set to the middle. And that's Charlene DeVries able to hammer that ball down on that quick attack. Point for Redeemer. Game tied at 22 as Yakira Smeltzer is up to serve.
Looks like Redeemer's really going back to those hard swings, and Mohawk just doesn't seem to be able to deal with it too well. Looks like they really weren't expecting that at all.
No, they can't. Another tip by Mohawk. That was number 10, Kaylee Duncan, attempting to tip it over, but that ball is out of bounds. Substitution, here's number 11, Christine Balachowski in for Julie Gagnon. Yakira Smeltzer serving. There's a lift call there on Mohawk. Point for Redeemer.
Not a mistake you can be making at this point in the game at all.
Here comes Gagnon in, back for Balachowski. Yakira Smeltzer serving for the set. Offside set to Van Hardingsveld, but she's met with two Redeemer blockers there. Can't get it over. Point for Redeemer, and they take the third set.
25-22 again. That seems to be a common score tonight, as both sets, all sets have been won 25-22. Interesting pattern going on there.
Absolutely. So the fourth set follows that same pattern. You know what that shows us, though, Carly, is that both these teams are very evenly matched.
Oh, absolutely. Both teams have really brought themselves to the game tonight. They're working hard. They're playing hard.
Definitely. What do you expect to see, though? Two rivals from the same city. We can hand the other a W. Mohawk in this third set needs to pretty much continue what they were doing. They made one too many errors, though, down that final stretch of the game. Some balls rolled into the net. Some balls hit out of bounds. And that's what that set came down to. Redeemer made a few less mistakes, and that was able to get them the win. Redeemer still needs to tighten up their game. Their passing has been kind of off, which means they haven't been able to run their middle. And they have good middles in Caitlin Arscott and Charlene DeVries. If they were able to get that ball to their setter and were able to establish that middle more, it would open up every other hitter, wreaking havoc for Mohawk. Mohawk's passing has improved, though, over the first few sets. A lot of their balls off the serve, able to land into the hands of their setter, Corrine McGrath, who's been able to work this ball around nicely.
Oh, absolutely. I think it was just all about trying to shake off those jitters and playing a team from the same city and just trying to win that game, prove who's on top.
Crosstown rivals. That the Redeemer block, though, in that third set looked a lot stronger. They are a bigger team than Mohawk, so they really need to utilize that size, especially at the net. They need to consistently be winning those net battles. You can see that Mohawk is a little bit intimidated by by the sides of Redeemer. We've seen a lot of tips tonight, and we'll probably keep seeing some because Redeemer is yet to pick up on it really. They've had trouble passing that short tip over the net.
Oh, absolutely. Both teams have seemed to resort to the tips a little bit, but neither team has caught on to what the other team has been doing.
No. And that's a bit of lack of communication too. The people in the back row, when they see that attacker go up, they need to call out that a tip is coming. You can tell it in the way they swing because they'll kind of hold back and won't swing all the way through, extend their arm, tighten the fingers, and just tap that ball over. That's where communication comes into play. These teams are ready to go. Corrine McGrath serving for Mohawk to start this fourth set. There's Stratsma. Powerful swing, tooling in the Mohawk block. Yakira Smeltzer stepping up for Redeemer. Chantel Baker unable to handle that serve. Point for Redeemer. Chantel Baker's had a pretty inconsistent game thus far. She's had some really nice passes, but some of them she's just shanked out of bounds or made it really tough for the teammates to dig up. There's a nice up by her though. There's that lack of communication we were saying. That ball needs to get over. That was a high free ball that Mohawk let hit the floor. That cannot happen. Yeah, Kira Smeltzer serving. Kaylee Duncan tools the Redeemer block. Out of bounds, point for Mohawk as Chi-Chi Chucks Maddie steps up to serve. And she serves it into the net, point for Redeemer. Those mistakes you can't have happen. Can't give away free points.
Absolutely not at this point in the game, John.
Charlene DeVries up to serve. Free ball for Redeemer. Stratsma without a block up there. Able to find the floor. Her eyes must have lit up when she didn't see a block there. Able to give a full swing. Nothing Mohawk could do.
Well, absolutely, that's like Christmas come early.
Van Harding's ball gets blocked. Mohawk gets it back though. Out to Gagnon. Tipped over. Stratsma again gets a party ball. And again, without a block up there. Gets 2 Christmas gifts in the last 2 plays. We have a substitution. That's Balachowski in and Gagnon out. And number 12, Charlene DeVries serving for Redeemer. Big serve. Here's another free ball for Redeemer. Outside ball. And number 9, Jocelyn Klumpmaker, able to clobber that ball to the floor. And here's a timeout by Mohawk. Surprised it didn't happen earlier, given Annie Nicholson's timeout. In the other sets, usually wouldn't let this lead get that big. But alas, he did. Redeemer leads Mohawk 7-1. Here in the 4th set. And Redeemer's done that with strong serves, good passing, and really powerful attacks.
Absolutely, it appears that Stratsma's just on fire tonight. She really knows where to hit that ball down. She's been getting a lot of gifts tonight. No blocks on the Mohawk side.
Absolutely, her eyes must be lighting up. It's every volleyball player's dream. No block, a ball tight to the net. One that you can just hammer down. Builds the confidence, gets your team jacked up. All important things in volleyball. DeVries still serving. Another big serve. Free ball for Redeemer. That's Stratsma cranking that ball out of bounds. And able to find the court there. Number 10, Kaylee Duncan stepping up to serve for Mohawk. Good pass up, into the middle. That ball looked to go out of bounds. Well, it was looking to be going out of bounds, but Kaylee Duncan stuck out her hand. That's where the bench needs to talk to the players on the court. Tell them what's going on.
Absolutely. The Mohawk bench has been awfully quiet tonight as compared to the Redeemer bench, who I can hear from my standpoint over here.
That's Stratsman with a big serve. That Mohawk cannot handle. Point for Redeemer. Here we have 2 substitutions coming. Number 12, Alexandra. Nope, sorry, number 6 is coming in first. That's Lindsay Collette in for number 15, Van Hardingsveld. And here comes number 12, Alexandra Pullum, in for number 8, Corrine McGrath. Curtis Stratsman will be serving for Redeemer. Once things get going. Ref just making sure everything's okay over here. Seems satisfied. Here we go. Curtis Stratsma. Too strong, out of bounds. Point for Mohawk. Number 6, Lindsay Collette, stepping up to serve. Curtis Stratsma gets a good swing on it, but that's out of bounds. Just got to keep that ball in the court. Point for Mohawk, Lindsay Collette. Back up to serve. Redeemer can't handle that serve. Point for Mohawk.
Again with the confusion, not sure who's going where.
Nope. These ladies aren't talking that much tonight. There's a good pass up to Stratsma. Rolled over. High ball. Dug up by Mohawk. Into the middle. That ball is blocked by Caitlin Arscott, the Redeemer middle. Point for Redeemer as number 9, Jocelyn Klumpmaker, steps up to serve. That's a huge serve, and she aces Mohawk. Klumpmaker still serving. Mohawk runs the middle. Redeemer able to dig it up though. Stratsman able to convert. There's Balachowski as she hammers that ball out of bounds and into the crowd. Klumpmaker still serving.
Redeemer Royals leading Mohawk 12-5 in the 4th set.
That's a big up. Set to the middle. It's blocked, but Redeemer gets it over. Another tip by Mohawk. Tipped over by Kimberly Stewart, the setter.
Looks like we've got some good advice from the Redeemer bench over here. It's to keep talking.
Big swing, but they can't convert. Back set to Stratsma. And that's out of bounds, ending that rally. Point for Mohawk. Had a good rally there, real scrappy play.
Absolutely, Mohawk just really looking to dig themselves out of this hole. They'll play any way they can just to get that point.
Definitely, that was Balachowski serving. Mohawk gets a free ball. Outside to Chucks Matty. Tips it right to the Redeemer player though. That's a high tip by Kimberly Stewart, but Mohawk can't recover. They're all moved up too far. Your 6 back player needs to have their heels on that attack line at all times. Into the middle, another tip by Mohawk. Yakira Smeltzer finds the court, point Redeemer. Number 2, Caitlin Arscott stepping up to serve. After we have the substitution though. Here comes Gagnon, and Balichowski's out.
Seems to really cycling those two tonight. Both of them coming in for the other.
Serves out of bounds by Caitlin Arscott. Jessica Burdett is gonna get subbed out for Charlotte Hutema. Hutema coming in to serve, play some defense. Redeemer leads 14-7 here in the 4th set. Here's a party ball that DeVries has a great time with. That's a point for Redeemer. Number 8, Kimberly Stewart stepping up to serve. Big serve taken by Chucks Matty. Outside ball though. Number 12, Alexandra Pullum with the tool, point for Mohawk. Alexandra Pullum stepping up to serve. That was a nice play there by Redeemer. Fake the middle, set a meter ball, and that was Stratsma coming around to take it. Mohawk, nothing Mohawk could do. Yakira Smeltzer up to serve. And Chantel Baker can't handle that.
She's another one that we've seen a lot of good plays from tonight. She's got really a strong serve going.
Yeah, she really has, Carly. And she's been picking on the libero for Mohawk. There's another serve right to her. See good up this time though. Chucks Matty with the swing, but she's blocked. Free ball for Mohawk. Or for Redeemer, sorry. And that was libero Chantel Baker. Just out of bounds, point for Redeemer.
The Royals now leading the game 18-8.
And your Kira Smeltzer looking to build on that lead as she is serving. Free ball for Redeemer. Some miscommunication there at the net between DeVries and Stratsma.
Absolutely, quite a bit of confusion looking at each other, wondering who was going to go for that one.
That's why you got to talk to each other. And here's Chi-Chi Chucks Matty. Stratsma can't fix that ball. Point for Mohawk as they look to claw their way back into this game. Chi-Chi Chucks Matty is serving. Clawmaker didn't have a block there, but she did not flick her wrist enough as she phases that ball out of bounds. Point for Mohawk. Chi-Chi Chucks Matty up to serve. That's a lift call. No, it's a double touch, sorry. Called on Redeemer. Point for Mohawk. And here's a timeout by Redeemer as Mohawk has made a mini run here, getting this game back to 6. Redeemer leads 18-12.
Looks like they're really trying to slow down that run a little bit, trying to keep their massive lead that they managed to get in the first part of the set.
Yeah, Chi-Chi Chucks Matty though stepped up to the plate With a strong serve, she's able to get her team back into it. Still a long way to climb though. Let's see if Mohawk can do it. Redeemer's gonna need to come out strong out of this timeout. I would expect them to as well. Need to just keep that net presence up. Keep Mohawk tipping. And they should be okay. Mohawk's gonna need to find a way to score.
Absolutely, without being able to use those strong swings with that 6-foot-tall block there, Mohawk's really going to been struggling to find a way to get those points.
Seen a lot of tips tonight, and that's Chuck's Maddie serving. Set outside. Good save. Mohawk can't convert though. Nice Stratzman with a big, powerful swing. Puts the ball down to the court. Here's Charlene DeVries up to serve for Redeemer. Big serve. Kaylee Duncan with the middle attack. That Redeemer does not have an answer for. Point for Mohawk. Have a substitution coming. Number 18, Jessica Burdett is back in. And Charlotte Hutema is out. Kaylee Duncan will be serving for Mohawk. Double touch on Redeemer. Point for Mohawk. Down by 5. Kaylee Duncan trying to keep them in this.
Mohawk's really working hard to close that gap, and it seems to be paying off a little bit.
Big swing, Mohawk able to dig it up though. Julie Gagnon with the kill off the Redeemer block. Off the block and off the antenna, that's a point for Mohawk. Kaylee Duncan still serving. And able to connect on that middle there was Redeemer. Mohawk runs their own middle. Redeemer able to dig it up though. High outside to Gagnon. And she tools the block. Point for Mohawk. Kaylee Duncan still serving. The Mohawks only down by 3 now. Really fighting their way back into this. Outside to Gagnon, she's had the hot hand.
Once again, Redeemer not talking to each other and just not able to cover each other and get that ball back up.
No, and another tip by Mohawk. Redeemer still hasn't been able to adjust. And their coach, Doug Feldman, not happy, calls a timeout.
There it is. I was expecting that a little bit, John. Redeemer's really letting Mohawk run away with this set.
Yeah,
amazing they've been able to come back within 2 points.
That's correct, Carly. Redeemer Royals leading Mohawk Mountaineers 19-17 here in the 4th set. Redeemer kind of took their foot off the gas. They had a big lead.
Absolutely. Looked like they just got a little bit too comfortable where they were sitting.
You never sit pretty in volleyball. Mohawk showing that they have some fight in them. Getting their way back into this game. Not wanting to go down. Here come the teams again. It'll be Kaylee Duncan with the serve. It's been her serve too that's been really strong, getting Mohawk back into this game. Let's see if that timeout killed a bit of her momentum. Double touch on Mohawk.
Definitely not a mistake you want to be making at this point.
Absolutely not. The setter just got to tighten up those hands, move them a bit closer together. And that mistake shouldn't happen. Curtis Stratsma up to serve. Free ball for Mohawk. Mohawk digs it up though. Tipped out of bounds by Julie Gagnon. When you're tipping a ball, it is 100% unacceptable to tip one out of bounds. You have a lot more control when you are tipping that ball as to opposed when you're swinging on it. That is a mistake that can happen. A costly one at that, as the Redeemer Royals are up 21-17 over the Mohawk Mountaineers.
Looks like head coach for Mohawk over who's having a word with the libero.
Yeah.
Looking a little concerned.
She's had a rough game. She's had some really good passes and some good digs. But on the flip side of that, she's had a few balls shank off her hands. And that just can't happen when you're the libero. You are out there as the defensive specialist. That is your back row to run when you are the libero. Curtis Stratsma serving for Redeemer. Good pass by Gagnon. Set to Chuck's Maddie. Ball outside to Klumpmaker. She rolls it over. That's a big miscommunication there between Chuck's Maddie and Chantel Baker. And that ball finds the court. And a pretty easy roll shot by Klumpmaker.
Absolutely, both looking a little frustrated.
That's correct. This is Stratsma still serving. Big serve. Nice up though.
Mohawk really having a tough time with Stratsma serving tonight.
Yeah, well, she's so tall, right? She's hitting that ball over the net. Here's Stratsma up to serve again. Another powerful one. Ball outside to Gagnon. Dug up though. High outside, that's Klumpmaker. And no doubt about that one. That one hits the floor. Point for Redeemer, who brings it to match point. Curtis Stratsma serving for the game.
Looks like she couldn't quite handle that pressure. Not looking too happy with herself.
Now she tried to get too cute with it there. Tried to put the ball short. Instead, she blows it into the net. Lindsay Collette looking to keep Mohawk alive. Outside to Klumpmaker, who finishes this game.
Tough loss here for Mohawk tonight. Both teams fought extremely hard to try and keep in this game.
Definitely, we've seen some good fight for Mohawk, but to no avail, as the Redeemer Royals defeat the Mohawk Mountaineers 25-18 here in the fourth set, taking the match 3-1. Redeemer Royals tonight really showing us why they are ranked third in the Western Conference, as they are able to defeat the Mohawk Mountaineers on this Thursday evening.
Absolutely, John, but Mohawk definitely not going down without a fight.
Nope, although they lost, they're still a tough team to defeat. We saw some real good volleyball tonight. Well, Carly,
got a last minute huddle from Redeemer here.
well, they're a Catholic college, so a little prayer there.
Giving a little thanks for winning the game, looking quite happy with themselves.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for us, though. I am John Tonin.
And I'm Carly Prince signing off for and until next year, we will see you when Mohawk comes back to face Conestoga at 6 p.m. on January 8th.
Have a safe and happy holiday and a happy new year, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Have a good night.